Okay, we're jumping back into it. Joined today by Jan. Hi, Jan.
A long time away. Excited to see what's cooking.
Yes, you've been referenced a lot in previous videos, for better or worse. So picking up where we left off, let's just go full screen. So what we added was bigger type so I could actually see everything. But then more importantly, we got into the search field and making this work more properly. So just a little proof of it working. So if you type in music, all the music stories appear. But then the nice thing is it's actually sorted by score. So if we type in like music, let's find one of these further ones, Spotify, we see that one jumps up to the top. And we're actually scoring a bunch of different stuff. So this got a little complicated last time, but I think in a good way. So basically we are going through 4 different categories from our sheet. So the head, deck, tease, and keyword. And then what we're doing is tokenizing each of those and then just kind of cleaning it up and then essentially looking at what the user types in here. So actually, even if they type more than one word, it splits it off into 2. So both of these get scored separately. And then basically, if it finds it in either of these columns, it gets a score. And then we're increasing the score if it's in the keyword, because we figured since we're making the keyword specifically for this feature, it can be a little weightier. And then it returns those ranked and then it displays them. And it seems to be doing a pretty dandy job. Oh, and then we're even doing like half points for, so like we wanted a little bit of leniency. So we're doing the tokenizing. So like MBA gets split off with the, the spaces and stuff, and we get rid of the commas. But then if it sees like MBA anywhere in the full string, not just as a token, it'll count. So this cropped up, if we look at this one, so it actually got a half point for WMBA, which I think is fitting. I mean, it could yield some false positives, but that's really only going to happen if people are typing really short searches. So most of the time, you're not going to find words within words that. Anyways, that's the plan, and it seems like it's working pretty great. Jan, are there any things that you want to type out from a search to see if it's doing okay? Any ideas?
Ooh, hot seat.
I was going to type hot seat. But we have hot.
Yeah.
And then
nice.
I wonder.
Try map, because that was one that I had thrown in the keyword as something that people may search if they don't remember like what exactly the map was mapping, just that it was a map of something.
Yeah.
So
well, knowing these are very clearly map projects. This is obviously a map. This has a lot of maps in it. This says mapped.
Yeah.
So
it also is a map. Yeah.
Oh, is that one a map?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one's a map. What am I talking about?
YouTube border. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like ones that literally are using the word map, aside from the keyword, are also ranking higher. And then let's see something that's a lower score. No, even this, we mapped which countries have everything. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? I think that seems about right.
It's a big upgrade from our current search, so I'm excited.
Awesome. So like if we did map, what's something we mapped? Clinics. I guess that's an example of, I expected this to, I'm not sure we actually used the term clinics, did we?
I'm not sure it's in the keywords, but it probably should be, so.
So that's a good, yeah. So, and this gets into our weighting. So we can weight this however we want. These numbers are totally arbitrary. I just went with 2 for keyword, 1 for everything else. But we can also change this around. Like if we think headline should also get a higher one, these can be weighted to our heart's desire, so we can fiddle with that as well. But that is where we're at. That's what we did last time mostly. Oh, we also technically put in the structure for the sticky accessible side, whatever, sticky nav, whatever that is, the slide out. But that's just from a content standpoint. So today, let me bring up the issues. Okay, a couple things. Oh yeah, so from last time, I wanted to just make this thumbnail, or sorry, make the background of these lighter. It should be pretty easy. And then maybe dip back into responsive images. I remember, were you with me when we tried and failed at that, Jan? That was a while ago.
Yes, I was there. I think that was the last one I was there for. So perfect circle.
God, I might try it again and see how that goes. And then, yeah, we can go from there. I might do some of that stuff that we were discussing at the top here. And now finally getting into, I think I can finally start getting into some more design related aspects, especially since you're here. So let's start with this one, reducing the opacity. Let me see where this is. This is a task called thumbnails. No. Let's look at our tasks. Color. I actually really hate that task name now because what the heck does that mean? Are we using that? It's in here. Must be using it. Oh yeah, vibrant. I think I kept in functions that I wasn't using anymore. Let's see. Get color. Oh yes, I had like color thief. I'm going to get rid of all those because we're definitely not reverting. So let's clean this up a little bit. All right, so what it does is it loops through files, which is just all the 640 thumbnails. We set the quality, max color is files. Okay, so that's what files is. We say we're extracting, and then we run the get color function, get color. Const get color. Oh yeah, I remember color dist. I was doing a lot of manual things. So get color. Okay,
I feel like
so
I'm missing like half of your. I feel like I'm missing half of your screen. Like with really? What? Well, it's like it's not lined up with like what you're talking about, where you're moving to. So I've got one big screen.
So you can't see, like I'm looking at a thing that says const get color right now. You can't see that.
No, I only see like the async function that's like let for files let. Now I can see it, but I can't see double screen. Now I can see the get color. Maybe there's just a delay.
Oh, maybe there's a delay. Very weird. I'm just going to assume it's working perfectly and keep going.
Okay.
Maybe it's, I don't know. It could be different on the recording end than what you're saying. Well, I'll be better about what I'm saying. Okay, so we've got this function, this vibrant library, and it gets the palette, gets vibrance, get vibrance. Oh yeah, so basically I was creating 3 different colors. I think, Jan, we talked, I'm just gonna grab the vibrant color and we'll work with that one rather than like choosing between them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So let's see, I have to sneeze, hold on. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. So before we were returning all 3, so I'm just gonna call it get vibrant. You can always go back to our commit history for more. Round RGB, what does that do? Okay, it goes through and runs them all straightforward. Actually, now I'm seeing this. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just keep that as a little one-liner. Okay. So it's just an array of 3 things. RGB to string. Okay, so this is where we'll change it to RGB to string. So let's say maybe get vibrant is where we'll around RGB. You know what? Because I want the alpha in there. I'm going to add a step. I'm going to try to be good here. Get vibrant. Add alpha. Const. Add alpha. And it's a RGB. And really, it's just going to. What are we returning? We can deconstruct. And what do we want the alpha value to be here? I mean, let's just go with like, I don't know. I guess, do you have any? I'll let you make the judgment.
0.2 maybe?
I was going to say 0.2. Love it. Also, I think, do we need to like do a little? Okay, so let's make a const alpha equals 0.2. And we are not using any of these functions anymore, so I'm going to get rid of them. Max colors, not even using that. Okay, so I have all these nice little one-liner convenience functions. And there we go. And then we actually just need RGB A to string. Okay, in theory, that's going to work. Now I didn't even stop to consider, is there any chance that you'd want like the non, like that color used somewhere else, Jan, where we don't want the alpha version? Because I just realized I could have done that on the front end as well.
Possibly, yes. There's some like the text, the small text. We may not use it in this first build, but the small text with like the tags and the related stories might be good to have in the original color.
However, okay, I see what you're saying. We might need to keep. So for that, I was going to do some dynamic accessible color computation. And if it's going to be on top of this version, we might be able to get away with keeping this and then figuring out what works on top of this alpha version. Does that make sense?
Yep. I have a question about accessibility, and I don't know if this is the way things work, but I want to talk through it because maybe other people have it too. So, you know, accessibility is like super important, but like as somebody who can see colors and as a designer, I often get like, you know, in my designer brain and kind of forget about that, which is like a no-go. But is there a way to kind of no, I guess that doesn't work. I was like, is there a way, like, when the articles are kind of like focused on, all of the text comes into kind of accessibility, but it's kind of held in the background otherwise?
So like on a focus state, we make the text dark.
But then but that doesn't really account for people who just have kind of like low vision in other ways. You can't really tell where their eyes are on a page and what element anybody's looking at any time. So I think that's also true. Kind of a non-starter.
I mean, I guess it depends. I feel like you could make the argument that if someone isn't planning on interacting, well, no, you're probably right. I mean, obviously the safe answer is it should just always be, but I feel like you could probably make a case for it only being like at the proper contrast ratio under a certain interaction.
Yeah, I think the tough thing in kind of like the design world is that, you know, the elements that we're kind of talking around right now are meant to be like very much secondary elements. And so like, I don't even know if in a regular setting, they would be accessible to anyone, or they would kind of be more like texture, you know? But I guess, you know, that's kind of a bad way of thinking about it too, because things should be kind of accessible all the time. So I think it's just kind of finding the right balance between like the hyper design world and actually usability.
Yes.
And I think that's a journey that I'm going down. So
new territory. I agree. Well, we'll cross that bridge at some point soon. In the meantime, I just reran this. Where it spits it out is anyone's guess. Thumbnail colors. That makes sense. Let's see if okay, now we've got our, and to your point, okay, so I mean, we still have the RGB string in there, so we can easily just parse it on the front end if we do need to like get just the RGB values. But for now, that's working. Let's go back and tweak our stories, because those are using this lookup color, which is looking for an array. Lookup colors, return match. It will be match. Match that color. Oh wait, that's old. I'm not using that anymore. Okay, right. Righto. Okay. Are we still running? We are. Okay. Hey, look at that. Light colors.
nice. It's just enough hint without it impeding any readability.
Oh yeah, definitely no. I mean, we'll obviously run a tool, but I'm very confident that that's not even close. I think we could even make them darker if you wanted them darker. What's that one? Oh yeah. Cool. Okay. I'm going to call that ticked off. We can always adjust that alpha and play with it. But for now, doing. Let me do I'm looking at the time. Okay. I'm going to give myself a 10-minute cap on this responsive image part 2. So I don't pull my hair out. So let's revisit. We have an image. This is our pixelated, blurry image. We want to, and I found an example of this working. I found examples actually that weren't working, so it made me think that I wasn't crazy. Let me bring this over. I figured if I copy this verbatim, I'll be in good shape. So just to prove to myself, I think I made adjustments to it. So let me refresh. Oh, that's curious. Oh, that's annoying because we're on Retina. Okay, well, I swear this worked at one point. Oh, now I'm starting to think that it's a DPI issue. Are you seeing this, Jen?
Yes, had to find my unmute button, but yes, I am
Okay,
seeing it.
so on my non-DPI screen, I see when I have that super tiny, I see this number changes. They have different images.
Mhm.
Let me actually, I think that's something in DevTools that we can simulate. Where is it? Somewhere, maybe it's in. I thought there was a place that you can edit DPI. Ah, yes. Oh, really? We can't simulate it. Great. Oh, yes. Okay. 1. Oh, drafts. Why is it still 1120? Okay, there's no way that should be. Yay. Okay, look. 400. See, it actually works. 720, 1120.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because now if we get rid of all those things and we just look at it again, even on like when I have this at super tiny, it's good, jumps to 1120, which makes me think that it's for sure taking into account DPI because like, what is this? Oops. Like 400 times 3 would be like 1200, which is already like past this number. So I bet that might have been our problem last time. I didn't take into account my crazy high DPI screen. So that makes me more confident that this code is that is actually working. And so now I'm going to make sure to test it on my lower DPI screen. I was saying non-DPI. That doesn't make any sense. My DPI of 1, I think. Okay, because this is exactly what we did before, right? We had source set, you specify the width of the image, and then you have these sizes, and you can do a breakpoints to your heart desire. So I'm copying this. This is gonna work. And we're all gonna go home happy. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Or am I just talking crazy?
No, I think it makes sense.
Okay. I need to say that whether that was true or not. All right, so now we have, let's see, our biggest one is 1920, though I have so many questions for you that I didn't write down. We're never actually probably doing huge, in our mockups, there's no big like full bleed.
There's not like a hero
so,
image or anything.
Yeah, like, so I imagine we can get away with smaller images, right?
Yeah, I think probably, I mean, the biggest.
Right now, this is what I have.
You can probably use the 1280 version.
That's what I figured, because even if it's at 640. Yeah, okay, let's go with that for now. So, which means here we can go 1280. 1280. Let's repeat that. And this will be 640. And then do we even actually need a 320? Like, what is that even going to be useful for? Seems ridiculous. No, let's maybe turn it to a 480. I feel like 320 is like nothing. Okay. And then so for this, thinking about it from a breakpoint standpoint, I guess anything under 320 will get the 480. Anything under well, why did my brain just break? Anything under 6. Wait, max width. Oh, we only want no, wait. Up to 320. I guess we don't even need that one if I'm just treating everything like 2 DPI. Does that seem excessive now? I think we don't need 3. I feel like we could just do this. Because if it's over 320, then 640 is not going to be satisfactory for like, right? If it's 375 times 2, you'd want something higher than 640. I guess we could have another in between state. We could have 640, 960. Yeah. 640, 960. That's even, right? Those are evens. Yeah. So then I could have one more, which is what's half of 960, 540. No, that's stupid. 480.
Math.
Math. All right,
Always
so
hard.
Jesus, 480 gets 960. Otherwise, we're at 1280. Okay. I feel very good about this. It's probably a bad sign. And okay, by default, also let me put in alt. Actually not sure what the alt tag should be for these. I was thinking about that. Like, should it just say like the head? Like, it's supposed to describe the image, but
the images are so abstract that I don't know
kind
if
of
it adds much to it. Maybe it's
like
just maybe it's like teaser image for X story. Or
teaser.
I mean, we could, I guess, have a separate row in the spreadsheet.
I mean, you're not getting any value out of describing what's in the image. Like,
No.
I'm trying to look. I was just thinking about, like, what would you even call this? Like the letters A, B, C, D, E overlaid on top of a basketball. I mean, yeah, the content is, it's decorative, right? It's decorative. So I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. I'm just going to do this for now, and we'll come back to it. That's bad. But well, screeners. Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's a nice little thing. You see that if you write the word image in there, it tells you, it already says image. That's cool. Okay, so in theory, we just did that. I wish they were all labeled. I'm going to, because I don't believe that this is actually working on my non-retina. I'm going to look at here. Sorry, on my high retina device. I'm looking at it on my, just trust me that work is happening over here. Okay, inspector. Yes, amazing. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see this. Did it change already? See, it says 960. So it's pulling in the 960 there, which is great. I bet it's now gonna revert to high DPI mode. Right, how is that showing me before? Usually when you hover over this, it tells you. Well, that's not useful. Oh, on Chrome it does. There we go. Yes, so this one says it's using the 1280 because it's based on your actual viewport width. It's not based on like the image size. So we'll just have to keep that into account. but technically, I think it's working now. And I still do want to add, what was the native lazy loading? Which I know is not supported by Safari, but maybe for now.
Boo.
There are plenty of plugins. I'm going to add it for now though. So it is loading, I think. Loading lazy. And let's see if that fires in the network tab like it's supposed to. Yep, so you see they don't actually load in until they come closer to in viewport, which is exactly what we want. So we'll just have to decide if we want to bring in a polyfill for Safari, which I will add to our GitHub issues. Polyfill for, but not pressing. And I'm going to commit these other ones and close them. I feel like we do two things. Oh, I already closed it. Okay. Well, let's commit that stuff. Light, color, and responsive. Okay. Next up. I paused to look at Slack. Okay. What else do we have on those issues? Oh yeah, I was just gonna add in the font weight for, let's see. Oh, two things actually. We're getting back to the letter section. First thing actually is, I believe, website. So a couple things here. We wanted to switch section off this tagline from the popular and personal section. So we actually did that in the copy, but I don't think we've integrated it into the component yet. Also, Jan, I think I mentioned I wanted to make sure the pudding was red in line in the text, and so I added the screen reader only class. So this is visually hidden, but not from the screen reader.
Nice. Yeah, I know we were talking about like what's the equivalent of invisible ink on.
Yeah, and I forgot I already had this as a utility class. So screen reader only, it will still be picked up, but not be for sight. And so I guess the other piece I wanted to switch out here was copy.tagline. Okay, so if we look at, what am I doing? Copy. Yep, so we've got copy for home. And then let's just inspect. I wonder if we should give that a span so we can work with it. Okay, so we've got the tagline, we've got the popular HTML, we've got the personal HTML. Also, no reason this shouldn't all be spans because we're going to be doing a lot of visibility stuff. Copy.welcome. We go ahead and class everything up. Okay, let's see where we are at might as well HTML that in case we put things in there too. Whew, okay. I don't know how that winded me. That's, I guess it's fine. All right, so we've got screen read only. The pudding is a digital publication that delete makes cool shit on the internet. Then we've got this span, which is the popular stuff. And then we've got this span, which is the personal stuff. It didn't find a match, so it's not showing it. Then we've got the welcome. Per discussion. Okay, so I wanted to do that. We wanted to weight stuff differently. We're on the fence, I guess. Is that the best word for if we're doing handwriting stuff yet?
Yeah.
So for
TBD.
now, TBD, I'm just gonna bold, I'll just, put a strong tag around the whole personal section. That'll be the simplest first solution. That's not a strong tag. I'm going to close that issue because that was just a little mini one. So I didn't forget. But now we can get into the more fun stuff of what the heck we're doing with all this. Another thing. Okay, so let's recap what we talked about. I wrote down some things. I'm sure this is not it. So we're going to visually hide the stories by default. So we are only going to have, I'm actually going to, let me make these edits in here. So we're only going to have the tagline. This won't be visible yet, so that won't even be there. Personal won't be visible yet because that changes on load. This is a good question. Is there any point of this one being in there? I know we talked about it just.
Which one are you on? Because I think my screen's delayed, so.
Oh, the welcome message that happens after the stories.
Oh,
right now it just says, so welcome.
Yeah, probably not. Because I imagine like that could be custom too, depending on what a person wants to say.
Okay, so I mean, I think the idea was like, if for some reason this loaded without JavaScript, it just would have the tagline and explain what we do and then our stories, and that's totally fine. Plus, we don't need that other stuff in there for like SEO purposes because all of our stories are already listed. We're not getting any real extra value from that. So that's the plan, which means we also don't even have to do this HTML stuff until on mount. So I might move that around a little bit. So I might start that also as nothing. And then let's see, mount. Oh yeah, I was just doing it twice. That was kind of unnecessary. So we had that like flash. So now it's going to do it once, and it's going to do the personal stuff, doing all the deduping, which reminds me, I filled out some more. I did my personal pics too. So now the two of us are in there. I know yours are faked, but let's bring it down. Okay, so right now I'm going to comment out both of these. And then let's go ahead and see. Nothing should happen on mount. Oh, let me also hide that. So that is class welcome, and then we'll say class is. Now here's a good question. Should it actually be already there as a class, or we could take advantage of, thinking out loud, we could take advantage of Svelte direct transitions and then just create this component, this DOM element once welcome exists. Well, Jan, let me bounce it back to you. What are we thinking? Just like a reveal or a type in, or how, like, what are we thinking? Are we thinking?
I mean, I think it depends on what style we go with, I guess, a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not sure. A type in might break the metaphor if we're using a
True.
handwritten font.
Very true.
So I feel like it's more of a reveal, and that way we'll be safe no matter what we use with it.
Okay.
Or what's, kind of style we take it with.
Yeah. In that case, I'm going to leave it as a class situation for now. Basically personal, visible. It'll be tied to that. The welcome is tied to the personal. The popular class equals is visible will be tied to popular. Actually, do I even need to have this flag visible? I guess that's better. That, yeah, I like having clear variable names. So I could have just done a check. Popular. So when popular HTML exists, popular visible will be true. Visible. And let's see, so we've got signature. So if they're all gonna have the same, I guess we'll have to figure out what the transition is, but let me just actually set, let's see, I guess they all need classes as well. Class, popular, class welcome, class personal. Okay, everything is class. The only weird one is this, which is coming from HTML, but now that this is by itself, we want to provide, we don't want to do the strike through until until this other one loads in, because that one could be dynamic. Correct?
Yes, whatever is kind of it's replacing with. Yeah.
Okay. So I've never styled delete tags. I wonder if I should just make this a span and then we do some styling, or I keep it as a delete tag and I change and we like animate a strike through, which would be pretty straightforward. I'm gonna leave it for now. And then I guess we'll have in theory an array of alt taglines. And they could be tied to people. They could, right now, I'm just going to assume that we have a couple of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it just depends on if everybody wants to steal my makes cool shit on the internet one because it sounds so good, or if they want to come up with something
publication better. That makes awesome stories with data. Okay. We'll workshop that one. Okay. So let's pull that stuff down again. So now tagline is this, and then basically we're gonna have an alt tagline. A lot of span action. And it doesn't, it'll just be alt tagline. No, let's just keep the, and so that right now, let's see, that will also happen about alt tagline equals copy to taglines of 0. I'm just gonna grab the first one. Actually, what I call them alt taglines. Tagline. Same deal here. Tagline visible. Oh, tagline. Okay. I'm not sure I like this for both verbosity now. Would it be better to just say tagline? I don't know. Do you have a preference there, Jen? Seems maybe unnecessary to keep adding more things.
Yeah.
If it's just checking if they exist or not.
Yeah, it reads about the same to me either way. So I think the less verbose is probably fine.
Now that we have all these dynamic
it's not
components,
that different.
It's not popular. And I could even honestly just do that. I don't need to do this. Personal, general. Okay. My goodness, so many things. Everything looks the same, but everything should be in its own little span world now. Great, alt tagline. That will actually fall. Alt tagline will follow. I guess it's kind of I don't want just a random. I guess I'll put it. No, it. And I changed my mind so many times. It's kind of. I feel like it should be within. Okay. I like that better. Okay. Did a bunch of stuff. Also, no, I keep changing my mind this period. That can be outside. Okay. Amazing. Okay. I don't even know what I was going to do next. I feel like the structure is ready though. Let me just, I suppose, bring this back, make sure everything's still okay. Everything still works. There you go, Jan. Russell.
That's great. Ship it.
Ship it. Okay, which piece should we tackle first? I guess we can just go top to bottom. So let's not do those things and not do anything. We actually want this to be hidden. So let's start there. Welcome. I'll just go with display nones for now. This is going to become very reused. So there we go. And also let me just update the copy because of my preoccupation with where the period goes. Oh, that's gonna bug me. Oh, maybe it's not this because that's not display none. Alt tagline alt. Tagline alt. Display none. Oh no.
Evil.
Oh, look at that. It's because we've run a new line too. I know that's going to be the case. Oh, okay. Thank God. Formatting. But I know that will creep back and haunt me at some point. Okay, great. I think we stripped it down. Now it's working. So first thing, onload. Oh, let me see if we can undelete that delete tag. So let's start with, let me move these so like when they map to their order of appearance. So tagline, delete. It's gonna have to be a global because we just crossed out that part. Global tag delete. Probably just delete is fine. What even is the strike through property in CSS? I don't think I've ever used it. Is that what the delete tag is using? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I think it is.
Delete.
It's text decoration.
That's what I would assume. Here, where's the computed? I'm not seeing anything. Do we have to go to the docs? Del tag HTML. Oh, yeah, you're right. Why didn't it come up? Okay, there we go. Non-striked. So we actually want to probably also class, where's our tagline? There we go. Class is struck. Suppose I don't need design here. Oh well. It's deleted. That is del. I'm just going to go with the strike through for now. I know we can animate our own. Let's just make sure. Okay, so if we now uncomment this, I made something unhappy.
Oh, I think it's line through instead of strike through.
Oh, I believe you. Oh yeah,
I remember
nice.
messing with that and being like, why is it okay? Okay, CSS,
And so
do your thing.
Is visible. So block, and let's also just put a nice little set timeout on mounts. Set timeout so we can see it in action. There we go. Except for the fact that, oh, I did display block. It's totally not a block element. And it just needs a little space. Oh no, but then I put it on the next line. Space inside. Oh God. All right, I'm gonna go with the CSS. Margin dash left. Okay, so it works, albeit a little clunky. But technically, that's what we're going for. Is it safe to assume that we're going to want a nice little strike through animation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
That would be nice, yeah.
We'll come back to that. Also, though, now I'm thinking about it, is that going to be always? That might not. Oh, that'll always be above the fold. Okay. Because I was going to say we don't want it to like do that until. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that, like any in view detection. Nice. All right. What's next? So actually, I'm going to be better about documenting what I've left. So animated strike through on delete tag. Why not P1? And then, yeah, I guess we can just do a fade in. How do you feel about that? For the
maybe like
do whatever we want in CSS, to be honest.
Wait, a fade in on the strike through or a fade in on the text?
On the alt tagline.
Yeah, I feel. What about like I'm gonna make it complicated for you. Not that complicated. A kind of like a staggered fade in by word.
We are gonna make it complicated. Some might call that like a typewriter. That's like almost a typewriter.
No,
well,
I guess we could do a fade, like a gradual fade in, just left to right. I don't know if I want it. I don't know. Like, I guess it just depends on if I'm thinking about it. Like, could somebody in this setting write a big chunk of text that would look clunky if it just kind of appeared?
I think we're gonna keep it to like, I think we'll cap the words. I think it'll be small.
Okay.
But
well, then
we absolutely
fade is probably
could.
Fine.
We could definitely do the word by word thing. I'd basically
you just like pipe it into spans, right?
Yeah, I would just chunk it up and then have them reveal spans within spans within spans. Let's go with the easier approach now.
Yeah, just do the whole thing, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I'll see it in motion. I'm like, I'll know it when I see it.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Okay. So let's say transition opacity. I don't know. Just go with that for now. And all right. Okay, well, that faded in. This struck out. We might want to delay, presumably, if we want it to like strike out and then fade in accordance. So we'll probably just add that on. So I'll just do 1S, 1S for now, assuming that we'll do that. I need a break. We'll come back, or at some point come back and do the strike through, and then have the other ones fade in, and then we can start like making this maybe look a little nicer visually. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you, everybody.